Hello and welcome to this video, and in today's video we'll be installing a new drive cable on the new Shape 56 Pro. So I've taken the screws off this top panel, you can see a bit loose, but one thing that can be a bit tricky getting this cover off is this cable here. So what I was advised by a dealer to remove that screw there, then you can actually just lift flap off there and let the cable loose, but I just take the whole thing off. As you can see, it's pretty kinked, so no wonder the cable broke. So the cable comes with a new plastic bit here, which 11mm nut, 11mm socket there for some reason, 11mm. In fact, I don't actually know where the rest of the drive cable is even gone. So yes, we'll have fun, and I'll just show you what it's like when the covers are off, and we'll go from there. So here we are, covers off. And what a state. They seem to be suffering with the same issue which the Hondas have, and to be honest, pretty much any other mower used commercially. Just looking around, the gearbox there is extremely dirty. I'll be surprised if it actually works. I think it does. So just going to get the airline out, blow all this, but the cable for the drive is just there by that yellow line that you can see. So we'll need to work out how to get to that, and we'll go from there. Right, so a quick update. So I have taken the tank off because I thought I was going to tip the mower up, but didn't have to. Managed to use two fathead screwdrivers and just poke the ends of the cable in, and then you can just wedge it back through the hole. I'll just show you what the clip looks like. So here's the new cable. So you just push those two tabs together basically, and then it's free. So I just need to take the old one off. So as you can see, it comes with this new thing. These do wear. They're giving it a bit of a clean up with the airline. Very good bits of kit. And yes, so it's sad to see this mower again, the second time I've seen it this season. I did actually service it, and the amount of stuff came off since the winter. As you can see, it's got the old handlebars. So the old ones snapped actually where this hole is, because there's this plug here, which you can see there's a screw there, so it's sort of bolted, so a big hole through the handlebar, and actually broke about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, whenever it was. And this is used at a local cricket club just for sort of tidying up the square before using the cylinder mowers. And so I have done that. I did remove a little bit of foam. It probably wasn't necessary at times, but just to give a bit more room when that's pulled back. It is a lot more comfy. You will notice those dents. So it's one of the reasons why Hayter stopped using this foam moulded handlebar. That's because the people that did the foam moulding basically kept mucking it up, and they kept having rough handlebar mouldings and all that. And Hayter, well, the designer Richard, does know that they were sort of like a more favoured design. The new ones are okay, but they're not as nice as that as that design there. But hey ho, anyway. So I'll sort this cable out and then I'll be back. So here we now have the thing back on. Yeah. The vape you can see, it's all quite small, quite compact. That belt there is a doddle to change, which is better than before. So without being able to get a screwdriver in that slot to get the cable out, you would probably have to take the frame and the gearbox out, which is a little bit of a bigger job. You do need to undo stuff here, and just general few screws. It's not as bad as before, but it's a bit of a big job, so if you can do it that way, you don't need to take the fuel tank off. That was just a precaution if I was going to tip it upright. Didn't want fuel coming out. So here's the BBC cable. I have just adjusted it a little bit because it was quite stiff, but as you can see, all goes in here. Give it a good spray of WD-40 just to help it be lubricated. And so yes, put the covers on, and that's about it. Right, so here we are, all done. So covers are on, grass flap, cables, lovely. So just what I do when putting all these screws back in is use some sort of water resistant grease, because ultimately if you do need to take these off again, it's easier when they're got grease in them as opposed to being all dry and potentially snap, which is some of the old machines was sort of quite famous for. So just quite good to do. So as you can see, there's a thing missing there. They do come with these sort of plastic clips that go in these holes for some reason. And in some models and the other Harriers, the 41, 48, they've all got slightly different positions of cable fixings and things. Why they couldn't just put another screw in there? That hole is a little bit too small. It's not worth faffing about with. It's not going to come off. So I don't know if I've said, but it was sad to see this in twice this year for abuse. And as you can see, it's got the red primer showing, because this was my 56 Pro, which I had right at the beginning of 2019 before I went to the Toro Pro Stripe. So there's a little bit of sentimental, not a lot, in this machine. Never thought it was brilliant. This engine's a bit naff. Usual Hayter stickers sort of falling apart. At least it's sort of central. Some of them you see at a bit of a weird angle, but not going to go into that as it's not really a huge issue. Bumpers are good. The end bits fall off. I said, why don't you just weld a plate on the end? But yeah, there you are. So as you can see, there's room for a dial for the Pro Stripe height of cut thing, which might have seen a video Dave the Lawn Guy did back in the winter, because this is filmed September the, I don't know, 15th or something. Yeah, back in the winter we changed this unit to the Pro Stripe one, and I think he's really pleased with it. I think it was sort of 50 odd quid in parts from memory. And yeah, the fact that someone at Hayter, I think I know who it was. It wasn't like a main designer or anything like that. So yes, it's yes, you can change them. There's room, or why don't they have a bit more cuts? You know, why stop it there? You could do 8 and 9. You don't really need 9, but yeah. Anyway, waffling on. So yes, as I say, put grease on all these screws, especially like the old side drive ones with these. If you ever had to take the grass flap off to change a spring or whatever, more often than not, unless you have to be very lucky for them to not snap. And then it can be a pain because they're hardened, and sometimes they're soft and sometimes they're not. So there you are. I hope that was of help. You can tell it was mine, so I've got the side skirts on it. Not many people put them on. I know some people do, but not many. So there you are. I hope that helped, and I will see you in the next video.